Touchscreen digitizer. Think of the digitizer as the invisible bridge between your physical touch and the digital world. While we usually call the whole assembly a touchscreen, as a technician, you must understand that the part you look at, the display, and the part that feels your finger, the digitizer, are two completely different components that have been fused together. For your CompTIA A+ exam and your future work with mobile devices, you need to understand the physics of capacitive sensing, how these components are repaired, and why a broken screen isn't always as bad as it looks. The anatomy, the transparent overlay. A digitizer is a thin, transparent layer of glass or plastic that sits directly on top of the LCD or OLED panel. Its only job is to convert analog physical touch into digital X and Y coordinates that the operating system can understand. In modern devices, the digitizer is often laminated or glued directly to the display panel to make the device thinner and reduce glare. However, on some older laptops and budget tablets, the two parts are separate. This is why you might see a tablet with a shattered top glass that still displays a perfect image. In that case, the digitizer is broken, but the LCD underneath is still healthy. How it works: capacitance. In the early days of touchscreens, we used resistive technology that required you to physically push the screen down. Today, almost every device you own uses capacitive touch. Your body naturally carries a small electrical charge. The digitizer is covered in a microscopic grid of transparent electrodes, usually made of a material called indium tin oxide. When you touch the screen, your finger draws a tiny amount of electrical current from that grid. The controller chip at the edge of the screen measures exactly where that leak in electricity is happening. It calculates the location on the grid and tells the CPU. The user just tapped at these exact coordinates. Because it relies on electricity from your body, this is why the screen won't work if you try to use it with standard winter gloves. The fabric acts as an insulator and blocks your body's electrical charge from reaching the grid. The digitizer's second role, the stylus. On devices like the Samsung Galaxy Note or high-end tablets, the digitizer has a second, more advanced job. These devices often use an active digitizer, sometimes called an EMR or electromagnetic resonance layer. This layer is designed to communicate with a specialized pen or stylus. It can detect how hard you are pressing, pressure sensitivity, and even where the pen is hovering a few millimeters above the glass. This is a separate, sensing layer often tucked behind the display, providing a level of precision that a human finger simply cannot match. Troubleshooting, ghost touching, and calibration. As an IT professional, you will encounter two primary failures with digitizers. Ghost touching. This is when the device starts opening apps or typing on its own. This is usually caused by a physical defect where the digitizer is shorting out due to a hairline crack, moisture trapped under the glass, or a low-quality third-party charging cable causing electrical interference. Calibration issues. If you tap an icon on the left but the computer thinks you tapped on the right, the digitizer is out of alignment. While modern mobile devices are factory calibrated, older Windows laptops with touchscreens often require you to run a calibration tool where you tap four corners of the screen to resync the coordinate grid. Contrast and comparison for the technician. When troubleshooting, keep these distinctions in mind. Digitizer versus display. The digitizer is the input, the sensor. The LCD OLED is the output, the picture. Capacitive versus resistive. Capacitive is the modern standard that supports multi-touch, pinching and zooming, and feels your electrical charge. Resistive is the old style that requires physical pressure and usually only supports one touch at a time. The fused assembly. If a user drops their phone and the screen is black and it won't respond to touch, both the display and the digitizer are destroyed. Because they are glued together, you must replace the entire display assembly as one piece.